And then sometimes I buy them because they look so pretty, and I think it's gonna be so good, or I'll read the first page, and then when I get into it, I'm like,
I have a journal addiction. Not just like for journaling, but like work. Like I have 2 drawers of agendas. I'm banned. Like I cannot buy any more. And then I have like 8 journals that are like for daily journaling.
Yeah, they have to hold her. She's not allowed to buy any more journals.
I look at them and I'm like,
so pretty.
Put it down. Welcome to the Limitless Tribe, where 2 badass women build businesses, chase dreams, and keep it way too real. I'm Kat.
And I'm Mel. We're the founders of Powerhouse Admins and the Limitless Tribe. And we're inviting you into the messy middle, the mindset shifts, and the CEO glow-ups we never see coming.
Now let's get into it. Hi ladies, on today's episode we're going to talk about journaling. And if you're here, I feel like it's probably because you've been wanting to do it, but you just can't get it to stick. And I get it, I've been there too. So we're going to give you some tips to hopefully get it to not only feel good, but be consistent with it. And it's not going to be the aesthetic type of journaling, not the 12 habits to track. Did I drink water? Did I go to the gym? Did I do everything today? It's not going to be surface level prompts. It's going to be real journaling that's actually beneficial for you on a daily basis. The kind that's going to build clarity, identity, and even self-trust.
I love it. I love a good journal. This isn't working.
Just keep going.
Okay, so I do love a good journal. I know we've had a lot of journals, and some work, some don't work. Some were like, what is this? This isn't really what I'm looking for. I do like prompts. I like when they give me some prompts, but I don't like when it's always the same prompt, or, I've had journals that tell me every day, have I drank water? Yes, I drank water. Like, I'm good with the water. And maybe that's good for some people, right? But for me, it's like, I drink water.
Yeah, it should be customizable.
Exactly.
Because everybody has a different habit that they're working on.
And then sometimes I buy them because they look so pretty, and I think it's going to be so good, or I'll read the first page, and then when I get into it, I'm like,
I have a journal addiction. Not just like for journaling, but like work. Like I have 2 drawers of agendas. I'm banned. Like I cannot buy any more. And then I have like 8 journals that are like for daily journaling.
Yeah, they have to hold her. She's not allowed to buy any more journals.
I look at them and I'm like,
so pretty.
Put it down.
Why does journaling actually work? So it actually slows your brain down, right? It gives you clarity. So once you have, that time to pause and really think about what you're writing down and being intentional about what you're saying and your thoughts, a lot of times these thoughts stay in our head, and we make things out to be bigger than what they really are. But once we put them down on paper, we are able to observe them and really see, like, is this such a huge catastrophe, or is this something that I'm just making a big deal that's really not? And sometimes it's just good, like, you don't have anyone to talk to about these issues that you're going through or something that you're feeling. I know that when I've gone through, some personal stuff in my life, that's when I really started journaling. And I was not a person that journaled. So when I started to write things down, I was like, where do I start? What am I doing here? Like, I just had the journal open there, and I'm like, this is not going very well.
Was it a blank one?
Yeah, and I was like, this is not. So then I got a journal with prompts. Specifically, I literally searched for a journal on Amazon of like relationships, because that's what I was going through at the time. And it gave me a journal with prompts, and that's how I started. And every day I would read it, it would give me some prompts to do. And it really did help me understand what I was going through and put it down on paper, which then I was able to observe it and say, like, what things were actually real and what things were I was just making up in my head and making them bigger than what they were. So it does actually really help get those thoughts cleared up.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I think, like hindsight, or like look, like talking to a friend and seeing her thoughts, but you're outside of it.
Exactly.
So you get to like be outside of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Agreed. So Mel started journaling before me. I have never really been a journaler, but recently I wanted to have like a nice like morning routine, and the weather here was really nice. And I had this journal that I wanted to use, that I've had forever, sitting in my section. And I started to use it, and I actually really liked the journal. And I was able to sit in my backyard under the cover, so I'm not in direct sun, but you get like some sun. I had my iced coffee. It was just really nice.
Peaceful.
Yeah, it's like a calming morning routine. I also like the prompts. I don't like just blank journaling. And I like a mix. I like a mix of some prompts that are repetitive because I know what to expect. Things like that need to be every day, like gratitude or, you know, how do I take care of myself today, or something I did for me. Things like that I like, but I like it to make me think of something a little bit different with varied prompts that happen. So it's a great way, like you said, to get your thoughts on paper. And you organize them, because sometimes what's in your head is like all over the place, mixed with works, mixed with friends, mixed with this. So it's not really clear, and you can't give it the time that it needs. But when you put it on paper, even though you knew, I don't know, I've had a lot of like aha moments, like oh, that could be why this and this, and it really like helps you understand yourself a little bit better. So, and once you observe a thought, you get to kind of choose whether, like, does this fit me or not? So can I leave this here on this paper as this is where it ends? Or is this something that I want to continue or take with me?
Yeah, that's true. And the gratitude prompt, I love that in a journal. I think that it's something where sometimes I forget, like, just the little things that happened in that day that I should be grateful for. And it makes me think like, oh, this happened, or, you know, yesterday, I can add that to it. So it just makes you think about that. So the problem with most journals, right? Not every journal is aligned. So you really have to, I feel like it's such a personal thing for whatever you're going through at that time, or just how you're feeling. So you really have to find a journal that's aligned with you. A lot of them just feel repetitive, like we were saying. Some of them are really shallow. And it's more like a checklist of like to-dos, or, you know, that you're going through, instead of really getting your ideas and your thoughts out. So you just really need to find something that works for you and that doesn't feel forced, because you want to use it. And when it's not aligned, it's just going to sit there. So like Cathy's huge pile that she has, some of these she does not like. So they're just pretty, you know,
gifted, or if I bought them, but no.
Yeah, and I have some that I at one point, someone I was following on Instagram had a journal, and she was like, "I love this journal." So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get it," right? And I got the journal, and then it came to the house, and it was more about like drinking water. It literally asked me about the drinking. I don't know why this bothers me so much, but it does. It asked me if I drank water it was the first prompt of the day. It was like, and I was like, I just woke up. Like, I literally had a sip. I don't know. And then the other question, it wasn't something that I really liked too much. And I just thought, man, this was such a waste. I don't know why I got this. So I never used it. It just sat there, and then I had to buy another journal. So, you know, just extra money on journals.
Yeah. I think it's hard. I gifted one, but it's hard to gift one because everybody has a different interest in a different section. And I love that you said that when you were going through that single era that you bought, or the relationship one, that you bought one because that's what you really needed to journal on, and it was specific to that.
And it really did help, because it asked me questions about relationships, and like, not just like good things, like issues. Like, it really prompted me to like focus on the relationship and things that were going well, that were going wrong. So I was like, oh, so it really helped get those, you know, feelings out. So yeah, when you like look up stuff that's specific to you, if you're going through something, I think that's a good way to go.
Yes. So make sure it matches your season, your depth. Like you said, some things are too shallow, and for some people, they want to stay at that level, right? They don't want to go so deep on or be so vulnerable, you know, every day. But for me, I really like that, right? I want you to ask me the things I didn't think to ask myself.
Yes.
I like when there's things on goals that can align with me. And you want it to fit your personality. You want it to look pretty. I don't know if everybody is like that, but I need to like this. Yes. And certain things about, even little things about how the paper is, because some journals are really nice, but you can't like write on the edge, you know, like,
or if you write, then you see what you wrote on the other side. That bothers me.
Yeah, me too. So I like spiral, or something that can open all the way flat so that I could write comfortably. I have to like what it looks like.
Yes.
And I have to feel good about the questions. And also, you know, the other thing is, how much time do you want to commit to this?
Yeah.
Right. So, and when do you want to do it? Do you want to do this at night? Do you want to do this in the morning? I think that makes a difference with the journal. Do you want to do it both times? So for me, I really like it in the morning to set the day. and I want a mix of like easy things to check off and gratitude that are and then like one or two deep questions. I don't want it to feel like I'm there for an hour and I have so much work to do.
I like what you just said though, because I had a journal that asked me questions in the morning, but then it had me go back at night to answer other questions. And I was like, this is too much. I'm just trying to get into the habit of journaling in the morning. Like now I have to journal both times, and then I would not do the nighttime one. So then the next day I'd be answering the questions from the night before, and then I'd forget some stuff. I was like, oh, this is not going to work.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So I finished the great journal, and I'm like, well, you know, I'm trying to use the things I have. So like I have like 25 lotions. I'm not buying until I finish these lotions. So I'm really trying to use what I have. So these journals, I'm like, okay, I used 2, they were good. I'm gonna try to use another one, but they're also different. Some of them are like, you know, there's a lot of reading to it because it's teaching you something. So it's more of reading than a journal. Some of them are like a workbook, and then I have this. So the one that I thought fit the most was the day and nighttime, but it doesn't fit for me to journal at night. So then I'm doing what you're doing, and then it bothers me that I am doing the night before and it's on the wrong day. And if I were to look at this later, it does not match. And then even the next day, I ask me a question and I'm like, I don't remember from the day before. I reset at night and I don't remember. So, but if you like to journal at night, that might be something but you might only want to journal at night. So that wouldn't be a journal you would pick up because it's going to throw you off with the day and night time. And then it feels like you're failing. And then you don't journal. So like right now I fell off my morning routine because I don't have the right journal, and that's what I'm working on. So make sure that it's something that you're aligned with, and it's going to be easier for you to be consistent when it's something you're enjoying doing.
Yes. So prompts for free writing, right? So some people love the blank pages, and I've gotten to the point, I think, in journaling where I can do the blank pages because I kind of know what I'm feeling, and it's more about like what I'm feeling at the moment. But I still do like prompts because, like you said, it's going to ask me questions that maybe I didn't think about processing at that moment, right? So I like a mix of both. Give me a couple of blank pages that I can write my ideas, but give me some prompts that I can like really dig deep into certain things. Works for me. But if you just like the blank pages, then that's the journal that you should look for, right? If you really need prompts to help you process and to get the thoughts out of your head and to be able to write, use the prompts. Prompts really activate that thinking. They make you go deeper, which is like what we were saying. Like, there's things that I am going through, but I haven't thought about like a deeper question or a deeper level of it. And when I see it, I'm like, okay, now I can write about that. Yeah. So there's really no right way to journal. It's just whatever works for you. So just make sure that when you're looking for journals, you just pick something that really works for you.
Yes, don't try to fit into somebody else's.
Yeah.
The when I was younger, it wasn't necessarily on paper, but I would do it on my notes on the phone.
Oh, okay.
But it has to be, for me, like it has to be prompted for me to just journal, like it was like a breakup. Or
like you were going through something specific.
Yes, and I needed to like get it specifically out of my head. But like on a daily basis where life is pretty good, like it doesn't come to me as easily. But yeah, don't try to fit into what anybody else is doing. The journaling is going to help you clear like the resistance that you have around maybe answering this question, especially if you don't have anybody in your life that really goes deep. Yeah. Sometimes that happens too. Like you don't have anybody to have. I love the deep conversations, and sometimes you don't always have people that are interested in that.
You don't all have a Cathy.
I'm gonna only have deep conversations. People are like, oh, this makeup. I'm like, whatever. Tell me about your traumas. Like, how did you get here? How are you trying to solve them? So it's not all the time for everyone. So the journaling helps, with doing a little bit of that. So when you're journaling, make sure that you write honestly. Like nobody's seeing this. If you're lying, you're only really hurting yourself. If you're omitting stuff, you're only limiting yourself. So if you're really open and vulnerable and release everything, you're going to be able to let go of what's been stuck, or even things that you've been holding on that you didn't even realize. Yeah. So you're going to move from the feeling of fear, even anxiety. Like I am not a morning person, so I wake up kind of like hurried, Even if I wake up early, I stay in bed until I'm late. And then I'm like... So the journaling was good for me because I had a routine and I can get there early, and it just feels really zen in the morning. So it takes me from that anxious feeling, from maybe fear and things like that, to feeling aligned, to feeling in control. Like I set up my day, it's going to go well. I'm trusting that everything is going to be perfect, right? So it becomes less about venting and more about recalibrating your energy. And depending on the journal, one of the ones I had recently asked me things I wanted to manifest. So I kept those.
Aww,
because
that's nice.
I went back to like the beginning of it, and I was telling my husband, I'm like, look, this happened, this happened, this happened. I love that. So I'm going to keep those for like a year maybe, just so I can go back and see like, oh look, I was trying to manifest this at this time and now it's happened.
I'm still going back to the getting late, like, because I do that too, and I don't know, is that just like, is that a female thing, or is that just a person, like it's an individual person thing? I will wake up, or I'll be sitting, like I know we have to go somewhere, but I'm just gonna sit and scroll until it's like, I'm like, oh, I should start getting ready, and now I'm late. And I just don't understand why.
And so I'm not a morning person, but that doesn't mean I wake up super late. Like normally I'm up at a normal time, but I'll be in bed forever, because not anymore now, but like before, like I was just waiting, and if I don't have something that gets me out, I'm like, do I need to be? Right? I don't really need to. So yeah, so I don't know if it's girl. I do think we tend to be more late than guys, but
I do that often.
I have to think there's some women that are very punctual. I have not met a lot, but I feel
I'm
like
not one of them. But no, I thought that was funny. And then I do like going back that you keep your manifestation ones so that you can go back and really review them and be like, oh, look at all the things that have happened. That's amazing.
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
Really nice to like. It really confirms that your words have power, and that what you're saying, as you're saying it, putting the energy out and putting out the work to get there, it's happening.
I love that. That's so cool. So journaling and identity, you don't become her overnight, right? You really actually start thinking like her first. So a lot of times we have all these ideas in our head and the things that we want to do and how we want to do it and how we want our life to be. But we don't take the time to sit and write it down and really align with it and get there. So journaling allows you to examine your beliefs, notice patterns. So when you're writing them down, you're noticing the things that you're really thinking and believing, and you're noticing the patterns that you have going on in your life. You're able to rehearse your identity and shift your language. So getting those thoughts down on paper are so important to really becoming the person that you want for that better future, for that better life that you're looking and imagining for yourself.
Yeah, you can really break down, like you said, sometimes we imagine this dream life, but it's great to imagine it, but then you have to like kind of break it down
to get there
and come to like today and be like, what's the next step? And realizing when you're answering these questions, are you answering them like the version of yourself that already has this life? And if those answers aren't aligned, or like the identity, how you feel about yourself, what you believe is possible, then you know you have work to do to get to that ideal version. So it kind of gives you like your path, like you know where you have to work on and what you need to let go of in order to get there.
Yeah, so you could use it as a roadmap to becoming that person.
Yep. So journaling really, another thing it really helped me with is helping me slow down my nervous system, which is one of my really like number one focuses right this year. I don't know if it's because it like slows down the noise, you know, like there's no TV going, work isn't asking you questions, you ideally don't have your phone with you,
and you have to focus on the question that it's being asked or what you're doing at that moment.
Yes, and it's just one thing, because I feel like normally we're doing 5 things at the same time, and we're doing them all, but probably not at their best capacity or giving it the time and effort that it needs. So when you get to journal, you really get to slow down and hone in on that one thing, which is yourself.
Yes.
It's going to move you from being reactive to being more reflective. So instead of reacting to everything that's happening, you're going to be able to see why you're reacting that way, what's happening, and be able to, you know, make changes ahead of time before you do that again. It's going to help you go from kind of that survival of like just reacting and just dealing with everything as it comes, to being able to more like strategize, plan, organize and set the tone for how your day and life goes.
Yeah, look at you with the journaling in the morning. Like it's a peaceful time.
Yes.
Right? Where you have so many things going on in your day. You have lots of thoughts, lots of ideas, constantly
Crazy.
going, all the tabs open in your brain. But that time that you're putting towards the journaling, it's quiet. It's for you.
Yes.
So it really does slow down everything that's going on.
It does. And I actually combined it with one more thing. So I did two journals, kind of, right? The journaling, that's for me, and then after I was done with that, I have like a work one.
Oh.
And then that one is like the 3 things I need to get done today, kind of like a small to-do list, and the calls that I have or meetings, and just little notes. And it has a little section for gratitude even also.
That's good.
And so doing the 2 combined really set me up, because then I was relaxed, I focused on myself to slow down my nervous system, then I planned my day, so then you don't get to work like trying to like deal with everything.
You're not rushing through it.
Yeah.
So what makes journals powerful and strong, right, is that it should make you think. It should really make you think deep and challenge your thoughts and what's going on in your head and in your life. It should build momentum, and it shouldn't feel like homework. So as you're going through the prompts, it should make you really dig deep into those thoughts that are like making your head like judge yourself, or your thoughts cloudy, or your brain cloudy, so that you can get them all down on paper. But then that should propel you into, okay, what's the next step? What do I need to do to get out of this, or to become that next person that I want to be, like to get to my future self? So you're building that momentum as you go through your journal. But if you feel like homework and like, oh, I don't want to have to do this, it's like another task just to add into my life, then it's not the journal for you, and you need to find a new journal, because it's not something that you're going to want to do later on. You're going to look at it as like a chore, and the next morning when you wake up, or the afternoon, or at night, whenever you like to journal, you're not going to want to do it, and you're going to push it to the side. So really make sure that this journal is strong and aligned with yourself.
I love that, because I think that's why so many things, like we try to do what everybody says you should do, and I feel like this is one of those things. And then it doesn't work for you, or it doesn't feel good, and then you feel not only did it not work and you didn't feel good doing it, you don't continue to do it, and then you feel like a failure, because this is this one strategy that everybody says to do and you can't do it. So I've realized recently, like not just with journaling but with everything, if that's the feeling, then that wasn't the right fit for you, and you need to find the one that is, or you need to find the right fit journal, the right fit style. It could be on your phone, it could be speaking, like it could be the journal that's aligned with your time of life right now. But it's don't think of it as it's something you're failing at. You just haven't found the right fit.
Exactly.
So we created our first baby from the Limitless tribe. It's a journal. We created it with a lot of love, based on what we've seen in journals, what we like, what we don't like. We didn't just want to create any journal to put out there. We wanted it to be something really intentional that feels good to fill out and feels good to have done, and helps push you towards that next level of life. So it's going to have intentional prompts. Some of them will be continuous, like gratitude, because we truly believe in that. There'll be sections about what you're doing for yourself today, right? Because we sometimes put everybody else above us, and we forget to do something for ourselves, which could be that water if you're really struggling like not to drink water. Or it could be like when I was doing mine, I used to put yoga a lot, because that's something that I loved and it felt so good to do for me. It could be spending 10 minutes outside, something that you do for yourself. There's going to be intentional prompts based on helping you become the next version of yourself, that dream version that you imagine, that already has everything and everyone in your life that you dream of. How do you get there? What's holding you back? What fears are I think sometimes these fears are almost like pointing you, like this fear is holding you back from that, but it's something that you need to address, and then you're going to be able to move forward. So it's almost like drawing attention to itself. Yeah. And that's something, instead of avoiding it, it's something you need to go into so that you can move forward from that. There's going to be a lot of identity-based thinking. So a big thing that I always think of is, if I can dream very, very high, right? But if my identity doesn't match the dream, I know that I can't get there. Not because there's any other roadblocks, but because my identity doesn't match that. So there's going to be a lot of identity work to get your identity to be aligned with the person that receives and has everything that you imagine. It's going to feel structured, but simple and easy to do every day. Not something that's overwhelming or homework. You don't have to write 10 pages. It's going to feel really good. We are going to touch on habits, but we don't want to have you do something and not give you the skills to do it well, right? So we're going to show you how to pick a habit that you really want to do, and also how to stack things around it, remove obstacles, and do things like that so you can actually be consistent and successful with it.
And not make you feel bad if you didn't get it done for the day.
Correct. And let's say at the end of 30 days, it's going to be a 30-day habit. You haven't reinforced it yet. It's been a little spotty. Then it's not just continuing it and it's not removing it. It's realigning and understanding like what's holding me back from it. What can I remove? What can I make easier to make this happen more smoothly? Just one habit, not 12, just one.
Yes.
And it's gonna be a little bit more deep without a lot of fluff. So it's not gonna be about tracking the water.
I'm telling you, I have a huge issue with this.
It's gonna be about building like the dream version of yourself that you imagine. Not just financially, but like how she shows up in the world, how she looks, how she carries herself, how she speaks, like all of that. It's going to help you design her and become her.
And I do love what you said about like, what can you do more for yourself? Like, what can you do in that day to help you or to push you forward or just for you to feel good, right? I had a whole year where I said I was going to be selfish, and it wasn't even being selfish. It was just giving myself time to do things for me and not feeling guilty about it. And at first I did get guilt trips. Like I was like, no, I'm going to yoga, and I'm going to go to yoga, and then I'm going to go have breakfast by myself, and I'm not coming back for half the day, and I don't care. And I got like, oh, I wish I could go ahead and do that, and I wish I could spend time, but you can. And you don't want to, but you don't want me to either. So then I took that time and I spent the year like every weekend I was going to go to yoga and I was going to have a coffee or go to yoga and have breakfast and just kind of go to yoga and go shopping, but do something for me. And that's the year that I learned like it was such a blessing to be able to have that time.
Yeah.
Right. And align with myself and feel good, because there is so much going on and there is so much noise, and we always put ourselves on the back burner for everyone else. And it's not, that doesn't help me help anyone.
And it sucks that we have to feel like it's selfish,
like
just to do like
guilty
for us.
Exactly.
This is our life. Like you're supposed to do things for yourself.
Yeah, you want to live it.
Yeah.
Right. So I that journal helped me do that, because that's what I was journaling about at the time, and I was like, this is so good, because this is really what I want at that moment, and it's helped me because I've been able to continue those things where on the weekend I go to yoga and I do things for myself, and I don't feel that pressure that I have to do everything for everyone at that moment. So yeah. I love that. So you don't need to journal for an hour a day, right? You can start small, 5 minutes, 1 page, 1 prompt. If it's something that you really want to do, as long as you just, opening the journal the first day and just writing the first prompt, or just like, your first 3 things that you're grateful for, that's an accomplishment. And then you create the consistency from there. So every day you open the journal, maybe, that first day you don't even have time to do the whole page because you're in a rush, or, you have something going on. So just do the top part. Get that done. And then the next day, maybe you do a little bit more. The day after that, a little bit more, until you get that intensity going. But the thing is just creating that habit to get this done. So I know you have everything like in a certain location, so it's easy for you to grab. It's creating that habit for you to be able to do this consistently and not, give up, if it's something that you really want to do, if you want to be someone that journals. So just make it easy for yourself. Put the journal in a place that you're going to be able to, easily accessible, easily to grab it. Maybe you want to journal while you're having your coffee, so stack that with your coffee. Already, every morning I have coffee, well, I'm going to have my journal next to it and I'm going to journal, right? So your journal maybe stays next to your coffee mugs. But just make it easy for yourself so it's not such a mission to get it done and to accomplish the goal. Yeah.
It's very easy to have obstacles to not do it. Mm-hmm. So I want to do it in the backyard, and there's my bathroom is right there, and there's a door that goes out. So I have a little basket in the bathroom that has both journals, my work one and the journal, but it has extra pens, and because
you never know.
There's a day that the pen doesn't write.
Now you're not journaling.
Yes. So every time I needed something, I put it in there and I left it, like a scrunchie, a clip, lip gloss, little things that I might need, so that I don't have to go out of the place where I'm journaling and everything's already in my little basket, and then I put it back. It's not noticeable in my bathroom. It just looks like a basket, but it's just very easy. It's in my flow. So some prompts that you can use if you don't have a journal yet, but you want to start with some are, things like, what story am I telling myself right now? Are you telling yourself that things are hard for you, that life is hard, that everything happens to you? Yeah. What would my highest self do in this situation? Especially if you're dealing with something where you need to decide how you're going to react or how you're going to be. Think about, how would your higher self act in this situation, or what would they do in this situation? What fear is driving this? And then dig into the fear. Is this really a valid fear, or is it just because it's something that's new? Is it more excitement and it's just something that you're new at and you might fail a little bit until you get good at it? What am I avoiding is a great one. Yes. Because sometimes the stuff that we're avoiding is exactly the things that would propel us forward, but we're just scared to do them. So find out what you're avoiding and why, and then do little steps to start doing those things, right? And what does calm look like? So peace, calm, ease, and that nervous system is really a big focus for me right now. So that's something that I think about when I'm making decisions. What would feel good for me? What kind of life feels good? What kind of situation feels good? Does this feel peaceful? Do these relationships feel good? And go through that whole process when I'm deciding what I'm going to be doing and who I'm going to be hanging out with, and even relationships that I have.
Yes. So the real outcome from journaling, right? It builds clarity, helps you get those thoughts out of your head, put them on paper, really be able to identify them. It builds self-trust, because now that you're really looking at these thoughts that you're having, you're able to really evaluate, like, are they real? Are they not? Is this just something that I'm making into something bigger? Or is this something that I really need to work on? And now you have your steps on how to work on that, right? Emotional maturity, you're growing as a person, and discipline, because this is something that you're going to be doing every day to help propel you forward. And it really builds your identity and helps you become that woman that you're really looking to become, and that life that you're trying to get to, right? So we're here. Where do we want to be in the future? Where do we want to be next year or in 10 years? Who do we want to become? What life do we want to be living? Let's start working towards that. And it's not always cute, but it is powerful. So as you're going through it, you know that you're building yourself, you're building your life, and you're aligning with who you want to be.
I love that. So we talked about the journal that we created, right? So if you're interested in pre-ordering it, we're going to start pre-orders. We'll link the pre-order link here in the bio. I think it's going to be a beautiful, very, very thoughtful journal that you'll enjoy. If you want to start that, it's a great time of year. We kind of aligned it also with Vision Board event, and we create our goals, and then how do we get there? So if it's something that you're interested, click on the link, pre-order yours. It's going to ship soon after that, and we're so excited for you guys to try it out. If journaling feels overwhelming, remember to simplify it. If it feels misaligned, change it. You don't need to force something that isn't right for you. Find the journal that challenges you, not one that's going to babysit you. And if you're ready to build intentionally, remember that we created Becoming Limitless Journal for that reason. So our next episode is actually going to go into regulating our nervous systems. I don't have it figured out, but it's something that I'm working on, and there's a few things I wanted to share there because it's something really near and dear to my heart. So that's what our next episode will be on. If this one was helpful for you, or any of our episodes that we have, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. And as always, remember, your life, your rules, stay limitless.